Guys, so I'm here now to do my Rasta hat pattern. So to get started, what I'm doing, I'm using essentially my eye crochet hook, my bamboo one. It's a US number 9. And I'm going to start out with black. I originally said in my video I was going to use different colors, but I think it would be most effective to keep in true character to try to match the same colors I did as the best as I can. Okay, so I'm starting out with my black. So I just make my loop, and I flip it over itself. I have the strand sitting there. And then I'm going to pull through. So what I'm essentially going to do is just start by doing a basic beanie cap pattern, and then I'm going to insert the changes and the color changes where it best represents the colors I did in the original hat. Okay, so I'm going to start with chaining 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there's my chain 4. I'm going to slip it to the beginning chain. And then pull through. So what I'll do now is I'm going to work 10 single crochets through the loop. So I go into the middle. So go through the center, I pull up, I have the 2 loops there, and there's the first single crochet. So that's 1, go through again, 2, again, 3, again, 4, next, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and here is 10. And you can see that there's quite a bit of an opening right there. So I can see that's where the issue comes in. If you want to have a smaller opening, you can do a smaller chain. But just for ease sake, I'll just go that way. And while I was doing it, I was trying to weave in that tail. So now the tail is woven in, and I'll keep on going. So what I will do is I'll actually slip stitch to close off the round. And I'll just do closing rounds, where a lot of times when you do basic beanies, you do in continual rounds just to like have the smoothness of ease of it. But because I'm going to do color changes, and for ease of knowing what round is where, I'd rather just do slip stitches, so you don't have as much of a, I don't know how you'd say, a color scar between the two. So I'm going to go into the first single crochet here. So actually I'll just show you again. So I'll use this as a measure of my last stitch. So there's 1, 2, 3, this is 4, that's 5, this is 6, 7, 8, it's 9, and this is 10. So these top 2 loops right here are the 10th stitch. So I'll just go underneath those 2 loops, pull through, and then pull through again to be my slip stitch. Okay, so that's round 1. So for round 2, what I'll do is I will just chain 1, and then now I'm going to do 2 single crochets in each single crochet. So I'll have 20 at the end of this round. So I'll go into the first, there's 1, to the same stitch, 2, and to the next stitch, I have 1, same stitch, 2. Okay, so now I have 4 single crochets on this round. Going to the next one, I have 5, same stitch, 6, into the next stitch, 7, into the same stitch, to the same stitch, 8, to the next stitch, 9, same stitch, 10. The next stitch, 11, same stitch, 12. Next stitch, 13, same stitch, oh sorry, so same stitch, 14, next stitch, 15, same stitch, 16, next stitch, 17, same stitch, 18, sorry, next stitch, next stitch, 19, and same stitch, 20. Now the only thing that's slightly difficult here is because I'm using black, it might be a bit difficult to see my increases on this round. Once I change to the different colors, it might be a little bit more apparent. 20 single crochets on this round. Okay, so it's going to be really difficult to see here with the black. Try to get that yarn out of the way. This tiny little space here is my slip stitch. This is my chain 1, and then these 2 loops are the top of my first single crochet. And if I look down here, you can see these are the bottom part of it, and this is the top loop, and I'll use this chain 1 as an example of not the stitch. So I'm going to slip into the top of these 2 stitches here. Okay. So it's again slip stitch, chain 1, this is the top loops that I want of my single crochet. So I'm going to go underneath those ones, pull up here, and secure it there. Okay, so that's how it looks there for this round. So for the next round here, I'm just going to try to put 1 single crochet in each. So I chain 1 again, and I'll just do 1 single crochet in each single crochet, so 20 single crochet at the end, and I will just, and then I'll come back to you at the end of this round here. So just go into each, 20. Okay, so now I'm at the end of the 3rd round, so that's the end of round 3. So I'm just doing general basic increases here. So now the next one, I'm just going to double again. So I'm going to do 2 single crochets in each one. So I chain 1, I go into the first one, there's 1, into the same one, and there's 2. I'm going to do this repeatedly around until I get to 40 single crochets on this round. And the next stitch, there's 1, that's actually 3, and 4. And continue on to the end of the round. After round 4, I have 40 single crochets on this round. So now what I'm going to do after this round, so it's 1, 2, 3, and 4 rounds. On the 5th round is where I'm going to start including my change in color. Okay, so now I'm going to start on the next round, which is going to be as similar to the previous non-increase round, where I'm just going to do 1 single crochet in each single crochet. So what I'm going to do is going to add my color here, and I'm going to weave it through this round. So I'm just going to tie a knot onto my strand that I'm crocheting with, my black, just so it's there, so it wouldn't change in the beginning. And I'm going to have to hold these 2 behind my work. Okay, so same thing. I don't go into the slip stitch, I don't go into the chain 1, I go into the top 2 stitches of your project, of your single crochet, and then I'm going to hold these 2 behind, and then I'm going to pull this through and slip stitch into that one. I'm going to try to keep these 2 behind till I need it. So since I'm going to do 4 segments of yellow, I'm going to have to start out. So I have 40 single crochet on this round, and on this round I'm going to only have 2 single crochet of yellow. So I'm going to do 8 single crochet in black, 2 in yellow, and then continue on until I have 2, 2, 2, and 2 on this one. So now I'm going to start with my first single crochet in black. So there's 1 into the next stitch, 2 to the third, to the fourth, to the fifth, the next to the sixth, next one to the seventh. So I have 7 single crochets on this one with holding these 2. Then the next one I'm going to do the 8th. I pull up here. I'm going back to like my color change video I did before. I'm going to have these 2, and I'm going to pick up my yellow, and I'm going to finish this single crochet in the yellow. So now I have the yellow on my hook here. Okay, so now into the next one, I'm going to crochet 2 single crochets in yellow. So there's the first, then into the next, I'm holding the black and the yellow behind the tail up, and I have 2. Then I have to change back to the black, pick up the black, and finish. So there's my 2 single crochets in yellow. Moving to the next, now I continue on doing 8 in black. So there's 1 to the next, 2, next, 3, the next, 4, next, 5, next, 6, next, 7, the next, pull up, I have to change again, pick up the yellow, and there's 8. What you can see there is a bit of the yellow peeking through from the tail. Go on to the next one. Pull up. There's 1. Pick up the black, and there's 2. Repeat 8 single crochets in black and 2 single crochets in yellow till the end of the round. So I pick up again, up through there, and the next 2 stitches, I go in, there's 1, in the last stitch, under there, pull up, have to drop and change to black again, and there. So there we go. So now I have the start of my 4 colors here, and we'll continue on. So now continuing, I still have to slip stitch, so that's my slip stitch, that's my chain 1, and this is the first part of my single crochet, the top 2 loops of that. Same thing, holding the yellow behind as I slip stitch and I close it. Okay, so now I have 40 single crochets. I have 4 segments of 8 black single crochet and 4 segments of 2 single crochet in the bright yellow for this pattern. Then next, on this next round, I'm going to do an increase. So with this increase, it's going to be a little bit tricky because I'm going to do an increase of 1 single crochet in the first stitch, then 2 in the next, all the way around. But while I'm increasing my size of the hat, I'm also going to be increasing the color of the yellow on this round as well. This is the only time where both increases are going to overlap, so hopefully this is quite clear. Okay, so continuing on again, I will chain 1. Okay, so I'm going to single crochet in the first here. There we go, so it's the first single crochet. So now in the next single crochet, I'm going to put 2 single crochets. Still holding on to the yellow behind. There's 1, and there's 2. So the next single crochet right here, there's 1. Okay, and the next single crochet here, I'm going to put in 2 single crochet. So there's 1, then there's 2. So as this increase that the yellow is going to be, is I'm going to increase them in equal parts. So I have 2 on this one. The new round that I'm on now, I'm going to have 4. So the 1 single crochet on each side is going to have yellow to increase it there. Okay, so like I said, I was on 2 in the last one, so in the next one, I'm going to do 1 single crochet in black. In the next stitch, I have 2 single crochets in black. Okay, and now they were getting right close to the single crochet before. So I have the 2 single crochets in this black, and then in the next black right here, holding the yellow back, I have the 1 single crochet of black. So I'm making the last single crochet in black on the top loops of the last single crochet there. Changes the yellow. So I changed the yellow here. So since I have 2 single crochets, 1, so I'm going to do an increase of 2 single crochets in this stitch here. So pull through, 1 single crochet, go through the same, and I have 2. So there's my increase. And then go into the next one. I have 1 single crochet, and then now going into the next stitch here, I have to do an increase again. So I need to increase to have 4 yellow single crochets. So I drop this one, change to black. So now we can see I had my increase of yellow for 2, then my single one here, and then my single yellow here. But in the increase of the hat, I need to put another black single crochet into the stitch. So I'll pull up again, and then there we go. So now I completed that. So I have 4 single crochets in yellow, and I still have my increases going on as well. So try to make sure you pull the non-use strand tight. So now I continue on. So I have 2 in this one, so I have to do 1 single crochet in black. Okay, the next single crochet, I have 2 in the same stitch. The next single crochet, I have 1. The next single crochet, I do 2 single crochet in the same stitch. I'm going to do 1 single crochet in the next, and 2 single crochets in black in the next stitch, or in the same stitch. Now do 1 single crochet in the last single crochet in black here. You can see the top there, and I'm going to follow the same pattern. So now I'm going to pick up my yellow, hold that black tight behind it, and now I'm going to do 2 single crochets underneath the top 2 loops in yellow. So pull that up. There's the 1 single crochet in yellow, down into the same space, pull up, and there's 2. I go into the next stitch, pull up, and there's 3, and then go into the next stitch, which is going to have the top loops are in black. Pull in under there, pull up. This is going to be the 4th. Now drop, pick up the black, hold the yellow tight behind it, and into the same space, I pull up. See, and pull that tight there, and now I have my increase there. So I have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's really hard to see. It's really kind of snug there. There we go. I have my 4 single crochets there, and I continue on. So I do 1 single crochet in black in this stitch. The next stitch, I do 2. Do 2. go around here. The next I do 1. The next stitch I have 2 in the stitch. 1, 2. The next I have 1. The next stitch I do 2. And I think I'll show you this next part in slow motion, just to hopefully so you can see it clear. I got clearer between my color changes. Okay. Okay, so that's how I finished that part. Okay. Now continue single crochet and stitch. I'm going to do 2 in the next, and we'll continue this all the way around. 1, 2, I go 1 and 2. I'm coming up to the last single crochet here in black, so I do 1 here, hold tight, pick up the yellow, finish the stitch, go into the next, the top 2 yellow loops. There's 1, do it again. Oops, sorry. And the same stitch. Next one. There's 3 single crochets in yellow, and then going into the last stitch. It's a bit tighter here. Then we change over here, and we pull up there. So now there's the 4 single crochet here. I'm back to black on my loop, and now I have to go back to the top here again. Here, this is the top loops here. Just I'm gonna end off the round in and I slip stitch there. So you have to remember, it's not the slip stitch, it's not the chain one, it's the loops directly above. It's directly above to the left of the stitch that I am slip stitching to. Okay, so this is that one. This might be the most complicated round because you have to increase as well as increase the size of the hat as well as increasing the colors here too. So now in this next round here, I'm just going to do 1 single crochet in each single crochet, and all the increases are done right now. So I'm just going to keep on going. Hey guys, I'm starting this round. I did this round once already, but then I realized it was getting too much of a variation from the original hat. So what I'm going to do is I look back at the original hat and I'm redoing this again. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to start here and I'm going to start in black on this round. And so we're going to do 1 single crochet in each single crochet around. But what I'm going to do is now double it again. So if I had 2 here and I had 4, now I'm going to have 8. So if I'm going to have 8, I'm going to need 2 stitches on either side in black to turn to yellow. So that's what I'm going to do. So I have 1, 2 single crochets in the first 2. There's 3. The next stitch. I have 4. The next stitch. I have 5. The next stitch. I have 6. The next stitch, I have 7. And then if I look here, before I finish it, I have 2, let's see, it's hard to see, sorry guys, it's hard to see with the black, but these 2 loops here, and these 2 loops here, are the next 2 single crochets I'm going to have to put in yellow. So what I'll do here is on this last one in black, I'm going to change it over to yellow right now. So I finish that one, and I'm going to change, so I have into the next 2 black loops. Here's 1, the next one, 2. Okay, so that's the increase in color here, and then in the top 2 loops of this yellow here, I'm going to continue on. So there's 3, so to make sure we count, next one. There's 4. Next one. There's 5. The next one here is 6. And the top 2 loops of this one, with the black, is going to be 7. Then now the next 2 is going to be our 8th. So I'm going to pull through under there. I'm going to make sure I hold back the black, pull up, and I'm going to change over to black and finish. So now I have 8. So I went from 2 to 4 to 8 in terms of the increase here. It's a bit of a sharper increase just because the slope is a bit stronger than what I had done in this pattern. So now I'll continue this way around. So I'm going to do the next 7 in black. So go into the next stitch, I pull up in black. So I have 1, I have 2, the next stitch, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So with the 7, the switch the finishing to yellow, the next 2 in yellow, and the next 2 stitches. Here's the first, here's the second, and now we continue on in yellow into the top loops of the yellow. So this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6, next 2, 7, this is the last one, and 8. And remember, this one we pick up the black, drop the yellow, pull through, Now we have 8 here. And continue going around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 7, so I have to drop that. Pick up the yellow. There's 7. The next 2. We have 1, 2. Next 3. Next one here. 4. Next one here. 5. Next 6. This one here. 7. That here's 8. We drop the yellow, pick up the black. There's 8. Continue to the next one. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. There's 4. There's 5. 6. And there's 7 here. Okay guys, so coming back to this one here on the last segment, I'm going to do one more here, pull that up, and then I change to yellow. What I realized is on my last round here, I missed a stitch. I should have put an extra stitch here. So what I want to do, as opposed to taking this back for this purposes, but which you can to make sure your counts are accurate, is I'm going to just add an extra stitch here. So let's see. So the next 2 stitches, I'm going to have yellow. The next one, the third. Here's the 4th. Here's my 5th. Here's my 6th. And this one here, the last stitch, would be the 7th, but I need 8. So I'll just put an extra one in here. And there's 8. So this is how it's looking now. Okay, so continuing around here, so I had my extra increased stitch here. I'm not going to go into the slip. I'm not going to go into the chain 1. I'm going to go into this part here, which is the top on the left 2 loops of that stitch. I pull through. Here's my slip. Chain 1. Then I pull through. Do 1. 2, 3, 4, this is 5. So I change over to my yellow. Now I add one more, and I add a yellow stitch on the side. Then I increase across, and I'm going to put a yellow stitch on the other side. So it's going to be 10 yellow stitches on this point. Go to the next. This is 2. This is 3. This is 4. This is 5. This is 6. 7. This is 8. This is 9. And then this is 10. So I have 1, the next, 2, 3, 4, and here's 5. So I change to the yellow there, and add 1. I'll stitch here, so that's 1. To the next, 2. Next is 3. Next is 4. Next is 5. Next is 6. Is 7, 8. There's 9, and this is going to be the last, which is going to be 10. That's what it looks like so far. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One, 2, 3, 4. This is 5. What's the next? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and here's 10. And there's 10 here. Okay, so this is how it looks after my yellow rounds. So if you saw like the original pattern, it's not identical. It's sort of in the similar theme of it. But what you could do is I had almost done, because I want to keep it similar enough in terms of the size of the yellow pattern as what I did originally, was you could, when you increase the yellows, just go up by 2. Because like what I did here was 2, then I doubled it to 4, then I doubled that to 8, and then just went up by 2 for 10, which is similar to what I did in the original pattern. But what you could do also is do 2, then do 4, then up just to 6, then up to 8, and not go up to 10. That could be a variation you could do as well, just to make the grade a little bit smoother here. Or then go up to 10, or take it even further, because now I have down to 5. Because realistically, I could do another row here and take off a stitch of each, and just have 4. So it makes each of the black a little bit pointier. Which I think I might do actually, looking at this. So go into the top of the chain 2 of the top there, and I slip, chain 1, I do 1, do 2, and then I do 3, change over. The next stitch, I don't have the yellow. There's 2, 3, there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and one more. This is 12. Go to the next 3. 1, 2, and then 3. Pull up, change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. One, 2, 3. Sorry guys, I kept on getting my yarn tangled here, so I didn't quite explain what I was doing here. So now I change to the yellow, and I start my new section in yellow. There's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Actually, this is 12. Sorry. And 12, and changing back to black. Okay, so this is pretty much near the end of this round. So I have 12 single crochets in yellow and 3 single crochets in the black left on this round. This is how the peaks are looking. It's not quite, exactly symmetrical. Seems all the way around. But it's consistent enough that I like that it has an interesting look to it, especially for the top crown bit. But like I said, you can do different increases slightly, so like how I did 2 to 4 to 8, and then 10 and 12. You could do 2, 4, 6, then 8, and 10 and 12 if you like. Do fewer or lesser, do it in even rows if you like, but just to try to match a certain amount of consistency with my other hat, this is how I'm going here. Okay, so on the last one, I'm going to slip stitch there, or just finish off that single crochet. There's a slip stitch, there's a chain 1, and then here is where I'm going to slip stitch 2. And I'm actually just going to finish off this one, and I'm going to change to my cherry red for the next few rounds. Okay, so see you soon, guys.